Hello everyone, myself Amruta Patil, lecturer of Computer Science Department, Arihant Arts, Commerce and Science, Junior College, Bowdhan, Pune. Today I am here to discuss about the topic networking technology. Organizations with hundreds of offices which are spread over a wide geographical area, they are to be connected with computers for efficient gathering, processing and distribution of information. But this cannot be achieved by old idea of a single computer. Servicing all the organization needs is rapidly being replaced by one in which a large number of separate but interconnected computers do this job by a system. This system is known as a computer network, and the physical interconnecting technology is called the networking technology. So today we'll be seeing the contents. What are the contents which we will be looking after are computer networking, networks in communications, network topology, physical transmission, media characteristics and multiplexing. So, firstly, what is a computer network? It is an interconnected collection of autonomous computers or systems of computers capable of sharing the resources and controlling the services. The network must be efficient, reliable, and economic. For example, a LAN in a college laboratory. What are the goals of networking? First is network provides resource sharing. It provides high reliability by using other machine if one machine fails in the network like military, banking, air and traffic control. Access to any file and data. System saves money by a network. Network in communications. A network is an interconnected system that provides communication links among two or more stations. Each station in a network is called as a node. Node. In the figure you can see this shows a simple communications network with four nodes. A, B, C and D are the four nodes. They are also called as the stations. Each node is connected with other three nodes. For example, A is a node, a station which is connected with B, C and D. Similarly, B is connected with A, D and C. So this is a network in communication. There are three different electronic communication networks which can be broadly classified based on their coverage area and their facility provisions. So the three different electronic communication networks are WAN, MAN and LAN. WAN is wide area network, MAN is metropolitan area network and LAN is local area network. So further we can see the comparison of these three networks. Basis of comparison is the first column, then LAN, MAN and WAN. So basis of comparison means on what basis we are comparing these three networks. First is it expands to local area network, metropolitan area network and wide area network is the expansion. Meaning is a network that connects a group of computers in a small geographical area, that is LAN. In MAN, it covers relatively large regions such as cities or towns. And in WAN, that is wide area network, it spans large locality and connects countries together, for example, the internet. The ownership of the network is private in LAN and it's private or public in MAN. And in case of WAN, it is private or public. Design and maintenance is easy in case of LAN. In MAN and WAN, it is difficult to design and maintain. Propagation delay is short, and in MAN it is moderate and in WAN it is long. The speed is high in LAN local area network, moderate in MAN and very low in WAN. Used for colleges, schools and hospitals, and in MAN is used in small towns, cities, and WAN is used in country or continents. So this was the comparison. Next we'll move through the network topology. The configurations of interconnecting the nodes in a network is known as network topology. While selecting a network topology, the following points must be considered. What are the points are the cost of physical interconnection, the cost of physical, physical means the wiring, cabling, physical interconnection, the time delay during the communications, reliability and possibilities of failure of the network, network controlling strategy or protocols. So these are the network topology selection points. The three important topologies commonly used while interconnecting computers in LAN are star network topology, ring network topology, and bus network topology. So, one by one, we'll be seeing the topologies. These are the simplified diagrams of topology so that you can understand. The first is star topology. There are 5 nodes A, B, C, D, E. So, they are interconnected to each other in a star manner, star shape. Next is ring topology. There are again 5 nodes. They are interconnected with each other in the form of a ring. And bus topology, there is a centrally located bus which controls all the other nodes, and all the other nodes, namely A, B, C, D, E, F, are interconnected with the bus. So first we'll see star topology. It contains one common node as a control node, and many stations are connected with the common node in a network. So in the diagram you can see E is the centrally located node which controls the other nodes. It has a server or controller centrally placed controlling different PC stations. What is the advantage of using the star topology is addition of few more nodes is possible and it does not affect the time delay. Time delay is the time for communication. Disadvantage is when the control node fails, the whole network fails. For example is LAN network PBX telephone system. So in this diagram you can see the star topology. E is the centrally placed node which controls all the other nodes. If this E node fails, all the other nodes, the whole system fails. This is the disadvantage. Next we'll see the ring topology. Each node is using the common ring to transmit or receive the data. Server is not centrally located. The network is formed by a number of stations with server connected one after the other forming a ring route. So in the diagram you can see here a ring is formed. So if there is no centrally located node over here, as you saw in the star topology. So here if A node wants to transmit the data to C node, it has to go in the ring manner, A to D, D to C. So this is the ring topology. What are the advantages are each node has direct communication capacity and it is independent of one control node. What is the disadvantages? When one terminal fails, the whole system fails. Its total delay in communication depends on the number of the nodes. So as the number of nodes increases, the delay in the communication also increases. So that is the disadvantage. Next you can see the bus topology. It is more efficient and reliable than star and ring topology. It is also known as multi-point or multi-drop topology because in this interconnection method a common bus is used for data transmission with bidirectional communication provided by the bus for each node. So in the diagram you just now saw there is a centrally located bus and all the other nodes are interconnected through the bus. So it is also called as multi-point or multi-drop topology. Advantages are the bus is much faster than other methods. Direct communication between two stations without any control station. So there is no control station. So directly the communication happens. Breakdown of any failure nodes does not affect other nodes communication. So if one particular node fails, the whole system does not fail, and widely used in wide LAN network. So the next point is physical transmission media characteristics. Physical transmission media are the physical lines or channels through which information is transmitted between the computers in a network. Following factors must be considered to choose the best type of network media for a network. So what are the factors which should be considered to choose the best type of network media for the communication purpose is the first one is cost of media. The cost of media must be considered while designing a network. It is decided as per user application and standard of the resources. So that is one factor. The second factor is implementation cost. When a media is to be designed for communication purpose, one has to estimate the cost of cable or media as well as the cost of installation. So the user has to estimate the cost of the cabling, the media and the installation beforehand. And the third is channel bandwidth. It is defined as the range of transmission frequencies that are carried effectively on a media. For example, the telephone line. In networking bandwidth is measured in BPS, that is bits per second. How many bits are transmitted from one end to another per second? For analog signal communication like audio TV signals, bandwidth specifies the capacity of carrying varying signals without loss of signal. These concepts of carrying signals are known as baseband and broadband transmission. So these are two types of transmissions, baseband and broadband. So next is band usage. This is one of the factor. The method of dividing the bandwidth into many small channels to transmit a number of signals independently is known as multiplexing, and such a bandwidth is known as broadband. So what you are going to do is you are dividing the one big broad bandwidth into many small channels to transmit a number of signals independently, and that process is known as multiplexing, and such a bandwidth is known as broadband over here. When it is for only one channel signals like telephone on a twisted wire, it is known as baseband. So the fifth factor is electromagnetic interference. It is also called as EMI. It affects the signal which is transmitted through a media. EMI is caused by outside electromagnetic waves and also unwanted noise signals produced by various electrical appliances. So whatever the transmission taking place, that time the electromagnetic waves which are disturbing and also the unwanted noise signals which are disturbing, that is called as electromagnetic interference or EMI. EMI is interfering the signals and makes it difficult for computers to decode the signal. So the sixth factor is attenuation. Electromagnetic signals tend to weaken during transmission, known as attenuation. The weakening of the transmission data takes place through electromagnetic signals, and that is known as attenuation. As signals pass through, the medium part of the signal is absorbed and make the signal weak. So these are the physical factors. Physical factors for the transmission media, and you should consider these media characteristics while choosing a network. So next we'll see the most important topic, that is multiplexing. This is the technique of utilizing an available channel effectively. There are three methods of multiplexing. It belongs to the broadband communication because you are using the bandwidth effectively by dividing the bandwidth into small channels. So in that you will be having space division multiplexing, that is called as SDM, also frequency division multiplexing, that is FDM, and time division multiplexing, that is TDM. One by one we'll see what is space division multiplexing. It is the simplest method of physical multiplexing. Physically, individual communication lines are packaged at the source. At receiving end, each line slot is separated to connect each line to individual destination. So here you can see in the diagram A, B, C to N, these are the data that is sent through the cable, and at the destination they are again separated. And what is the advantages? It allows individual line to each user. It uses baseband for short distances. The system is simple to install and use. So this system is very simple and easy to use and install. So this is the figure which shows the idea of SDM. Next is FDM, that is frequency division multiplexing. In this step the medium is carrying multiple individual channels instead of using separate physical wire for each channel. Each channel is transmitted by means of modulation, and at the receiving end it is demodulated. For this purpose it requires the modem. So what it is doing is the medium is carrying multiple individual channels. Here you can see each and every channel is having its own frequency, and modulation is taking place at the source end and demodulation at the receiving end. Each channel sends information using a separate carrier frequency. You can see each channel is having a particular frequency, and at the receiving end they are separated by means of demodulator. So here is a demodulator present. So this is the SDM. Next we'll be seeing TDM, that is time division multiplexing. Each user of the channel is allowed to transmit for a small interval after every periodic time, so that user can utilize full bandwidth in allocated time slice. The physical channel carries the information sequentially, such as A3, A2, A1, and received in sequence as A1, A2, A3. So you can see each channel is allowed to transmit. So in the media you can see A1, B1, C1 to N1, then A2, B2, C2 till N2. You can see the time slots, they are transmitted in a particular manner. One by one the channels are uh, given the opportunity to transmit the data, and at the receiving end you can see the time slots are received. They are received in a particular manner: A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. So this is the idea of TDM. Thanks for watching.